All right, I guess we are live. Perfect. It's a beautiful day outside. We just had a beautiful conversation with a neighbor, and that was amazing. That was amazing. Now we're in this new place. We are close to the water. We are close to the peaceful place. It's more peaceful, less tourists, more people who are just here for brunch and walk and run. So everybody who is like core Vancouver aesthetic of family, of friends, of runners, of girls who are out for brunch. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And people who just want to sunbathe and soak in the sun. All right, cool. Parfait. Who talks about being a child? And it's very interesting. I saw it was funny. Like there was a family, and the little baby just turned 1, so she had like this 1 year or 1 number balloon with her. They just attached to her jacket or her finger, and she's just walking around. And I think she just learned how to walk. So it's very interesting to see child. I think we talk a lot about authenticity, and the true authentic people are children or children. So it's very interesting to understand, like, yeah, it's very interesting to understand, like, we talk too much about authenticity, but some people are, as you get adult, you get confused between, are you being authentic or are you performing the act of authenticity? And the moment you start getting validation for it, you keep doing it. And I want to be careful about it, but it's something that you can ignore. You are an adult. You will, the moment you get validation, you will chase validation. Whatever gives you validation, you will chase validation, and you will optimize for it and exploit that, and then you will come back. So this is a cycle that will keep going. So we just want to be aware of that cycle. Okay. We will anyways do it. We are anyways gonna do things that give us validation, but you just want to be aware that you are doing that. But anyways, let's go over here. Who talks about being a child? It's also very interesting. Again, Rick Rubin talks about being a child, and play, child and play and flow, and all these things that he talks about is basically just inspired by your true inner child, So it's interesting. All right, let's see. Friedrich Nietzsche. The child is the final metamorphosis of the spirit. After the camel and the lion. After the camel and the lion. Right, I just recently learned that Friedrich Nietzsche had this entire thing about Übermensch, but the early stages are called camel, lion, and child. I don't know what camel means. After the camel and the lion comes a child, a being of play, creation, and sacred yes-saying. Play, creation, and sacred yes-saying, not regression, renewal. Carl Jung. The divine child archetype represents latent potential and psychic wholeness. The child appears. Let me fix the temperature here. Alright, temperature is fixed. We also have this very funny thing. If we open this door over here, this balcony over here, we'll get a lot of construction noise. So instead we'll open the window. Alright, let's go. The divine child archetype represents latent potential and psychic wholeness. The child appears when the psyche is reorganizing itself around something new. Herman Hesse, again and again, Hesse circles the idea that maturity isn't abandoning childhood but recovering it consciously. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, you go from child to being mature, and then you go back. You basically learn to be a child again. Again and again. He circles the idea. Herman Hesse. Oh wow. Whoa. Herman Hesse, let's go. These chairs look aesthetic, but they are truly uncomfortable. Alright. And we cannot understand your handwriting, Herman Hesse. What is happening? All right. Arthur Schopenhauer. To Indian and Chinese philosophy, shaping his lifelong interest in the reconciliation of opposites, mind and body, West and East. Life in Switzerland. Why don't we have just chat continuing over here? We should be able to go sidebars on sidebars. We should be able to go. Yeah, we should be able to. Yeah, just have another ChatGPT over here. Because what if I'm curious about this particular thing? Then I have to open a new window, but I want to be in the same window. Again and again, he circles the idea that maturity isn't abandoning childhood, but recovering it consciously, creativity and wonder. Yeah, I think Atlas is in that phase of becoming this very interesting research area. While I'm saying that, let me test Dia. So, can I do that with Dia? Let me see. Who talks about being a child? Whoa. All right, Dia, go. Dia, go. Why is my Dia not working? Dia, what's up? Dia works best as your default browser. All right, Dia is working. Do we want to see if Dia actually works? Let's resize Dia. And now okay, the answer isn't that good. But if I go over here, and I forgot Dia's shortcut, it's option A or option Q. Who talks child? It's also clean. Dia is also super clean. Let me share my screen. Let's play with Dia a little bit today. The response isn't that good. All right, here's Dia. Dia's beautiful, but actually, the responses matter. The responses, between Comet and ChatGPT, it was about beauty. Between Comet and Atlas, it was about beauty. Between Atlas and Dia, it's about the responses. Why does an artist across era, from poets to rappers, speak about in childhood? From my vantage, three stands keep returning. First, the mythic. Poets like Wordsworth Wilk treat childhood as a sacred lens, innocence that perceives reality without cynicism. Second, the wound. Memoirist, and novelist Maya Angelou, James Baldwin, Ocean Vuong excavate early hurts to explain. Okay, so if I go new tab, can I open it over here? Skills. No. Personalization. Personalize the chat. Edit preferences. Close. Okay. Third, the raw convention. Contemporary lyricists and filmmakers Kendrick Lamar, Taylor Swift, Greta use childhood as a recurring motif to map memory, belonging, and becoming. A few emblematic voices. Literature. Wordsworth on a child as father of the man. Baldwin on formative rupture. Angelou's resilience. Proust's memory as architecture. Philosophy, psychology. True self forming in play. Erickson's stages. Jung's inner child. Type to filter. Search web. Tabs. Yeah, this is too much options. Why would I do all of this? Yeah, Dia didn't give a good response. It's just beautiful. That's it. Okay. We have closed Dia. We'll go back to ChatGPT. Alright. ChatGPT is getting better. Is there a new update by Adam Fry? Adam Fry should be posting more, because we love Dia. And his last message was 18th December. That is crazy. Okay. I'm really surprised that people are not talking enough about ChatGPT Atlas. Cute new icon. Killer use case. Wait, that's me. Installation required. This is beautiful. This is actually beautiful. You can just go over here. Albert Einstein, he spoke often about curiosity as a kind of disciplined childhood. The capacity to be astonished was to him the engine of discovery. The capacity to be astonished. The capacity to be astonished was to him the engine of discovery. Pablo Picasso, it took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child. Mastery was easy, innocence was the real work. It took me 4 years to paint like Raphael, but a lifetime to paint like a child. Mastery was easy, innocence was the real work. Anaïs Nin. Anaïs Nin. We actually come across her a lot. Anaïs Nin. French-born American diarist, novelist, essayist celebrated for lyrical explorations of female identity, sensuality, psychological depth. The Diary, House of Incest, Under a Glass Bell, Delta of Venus. Born in France, died in LA at the age of, that's good, 74. The diary became her creative laboratory, an emotional refuge, later spanning more than 35,000 manuscript pages. Immersed herself in avant-garde circles, friendships with Henry and June Miller, Lawrence Durrell, and psychoanalyst Otto Rank profoundly shaped her literary voice. Publisher rejection, she founded her own press and printed Under Glass Bell. For a private person, helping establish her posthumous reputation as a pioneer of women's erotica. She wrote about protecting the child. Let's actually quickly check. What was our last? Oh yeah, this is good. All right. In this world where everybody now has access to Claude Code and everybody can one-shot apps, what would be the best way, the most fulfilling way of using Claude Code? The scarcity shifts from execution to discernment. When one-shotting an app becomes as trivial as writing a tweet, the hard part isn't how to build, it's what's worth building and why. As a code generator, more interesting is thinking about of clarifying what you actually want to exist in the world. The conversation before the build matters more than the build itself. The conversation before the build matters more than the build itself. Building to understand, not just to deploy. Some of the most fulfilling uses might be exploratory, building a toy model or something just to see how it behaves, or manifesting a half-formed intuition into something you can poke at. Build a toy model. Representing the happiness levels of the population between Toronto and Norway. We don't know what it's going to come up with, but come up with something. Building to understand, not to deploy. I'm also thinking like maybe right now we have ChatGPT premium, whatever the highest subscription is. So maybe we might switch from the highest tier of ChatGPT to the highest tier of Claude Max, Claude basically. If we hit session limit again, that would be interesting to see. Extreme personalization becomes viable. When building is cheap, you can finally create tools for an audience of one. A French vocab app tuned exactly to your TEF weaknesses. A journaling tool that asks the specific questions you need. The fulfillment here is building your tools, not tools that need to work for everyone. The Nietzschean angle. Okay, this is really good. Build me a tool that helps me speak at CLB7 French level to clear my TEF exam. Oh my god. Build me a tool that helps me speak at CLB7 level French for my TEF exam. Okay. valuable. Willing to understand, not just to deploy. Extreme personalization becomes viable. Okay, where does this open up? It opens right here. Okay. A toy model exploring the structural differences in well-being between Toronto and Norway. Simplified model based on World Happiness Report methodology. Happiness is decomposed into 6 factors. If everyone has the hammer, the question becomes: are you building because you can, or because you're generally choosing what to create? The most fulfilling path might be using the newfound power to make things that wouldn't exist otherwise, that reveal something that you would be embarrassed to explain to a VC, but that matter to you. Interesting. The factor decomposition, the counterfactual simulator, the insights. Even means when measured at population scale, and why two wealthy places can feel so different. 5.4 million, Scandinavian welfare state, Canada's financial center 6.2. Estimated from Canada with urban adjustment, World Happiness Report, factor decomposition, GDP per capita. Toronto is more, social support, having someone to count on in times of trouble. Norway is more, healthy life expectancy, years of healthy life expected at birth, freedom to make choices, social support. Interesting. Oh, Claude. How can we solve the problem of healthy life expectancy, freedom to make choices, satisfaction, freedom in life decisions, generosity, recent donations? Okay, Toronto is more, absence of corruption, trust in government, counterfactual simulator. Generosity. Social support, freedom to make choices, absence of corruption. How the model responds. A toy model for thinking, not design, data approximated from World Happiness Report. Okay. Most fulfilling use cases of Claude Code. If everyone has the hammer, the question becomes: are you building because you can, or because you've generally chosen what to create? The most fulfilling path might be using the newfound power to make things that wouldn't exist otherwise, to reveal something that would be embarrassed to explain to a VC, but that matter to you. Based on everything that you know about me, what is the most fulfilling path? Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, we got something. Expression orale, TEF Canada speaking practice, niveau CLB7. Section A, section B, section C, référence, durée. Vous téléphonez à une école de langue pour vous inscrire en cours de français. Ask about course level, schedule, prices, required materials, registration, process, class size, qualification of teachers. Commencez. D'accord. Vous téléphonez à l'école. Bonjour madame, je viens de lire votre publicité dans l'internet, sur l'internet, et je suis vraiment intéressé à procéder, mais avant de cela, j'ai quelques questions à vous poser pour que je cherche plus d'informations. Avez-vous 5 minutes s'il vous plaît? Oui, tout d'abord, je voudrais savoir quelle est l'adresse de votre établissement, quelles activités sont prévues dans la séance. Est-ce qu'il y a-t-il un stationnement disponible à proximité? Okay, pause. Phrases phrase utile pour poser des questions. Pourriez-vous me dire si? Pourriez-vous me dire si? Could you tell me if? J'aimerais savoir que. Sera-t-il possible de? Quelles sont les conditions pour? À combien s'élèvent les frais? À combien s'élèvent les frais? Est-ce que je dois apporter? Do I need to bring? Est-ce que je dois apporter? Conseil. CLB7. Use varied question types. We know. Open-ended clarification. Maintain formal register with root throughout. Ask follow-up questions based on responses. Cover all aspects. Who, what, when, where, how much. Conditions. Combien de cours est-ce que vous avez? Quels sont les horaires? Quels sont les horaires de l'école? Price. Quel est le prix? Quel est le prix pour les cours? Est-ce qu'il y a une... quels sont les matériels requis? Est-ce que... Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is the registration process? Oh my God. What is the registration process? What is the registration process? Quelle est la procédure d'inscription? Quelle est la procédure d'inscription? Quelle est la taille de la classe? Quelle est la qualification? Quelles sont les qualifications des enseignants? Oh, TTFR didn't work. TTFR. Whoa. What is the qualification of the teachers? Quelle est la qualification des enseignants? Nice. Répondre. Réinitialiser. Nouvelle situation. Vois un exemple de réponse. Bonjour. TEF Canada CLB7 target 310, 348 points. With timer, record yourself, listen back, focus on fluency over perfection. I use formal language consistently. I use varied question structures. I covered practical details. I asked at least 6 to 8 questions. I asked follow-up questions. I maintained a natural conversation flow. I use varied question structures. Good one. I think there are only 2 sections, so I don't know what is happening over here. Obtenir des renseignements. Bonjour, je m'inscris à un cours de français. Pourriez-vous me dire quel niveau vous proposez et quels sont les horaires disponibles? J'aimerais également savoir combien coûte la formation. Wow, this is actually really good. This is really good. Section A, obtenir des renseignements, practice asking questions to get information, formal context, da 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 da. Section B, practice describing, analyzing graphs, infographics, images with proper structure. Practice defending positions on topics like remote work, social media, migration, and AI. Quel document dois-je fournir pour m'inscrire? Combien d'étudiants y a-t-il par classe en général? Vos professeurs sont-ils certifiés? Et finalement, quand est-ce que le prochain cours commence? Remove the section. Ce document présent, on peut observer que ces données montrent une tendance. En conclusion, on peut dire que argumenter. À mon avis, le télétravail ne devrait pas devenir la norme absolue, mais plutôt une option flexible. Premièrement, il offre des avantages indéniables. Meilleur équilibre travail-vie personnelle et réduction des émissions de CO2. Deuxièmement, les études montrent que la productivité peut même augmenter. Cependant, je reconnais que l'isolement social est un risque réel. De plus, certains emplois nécessitent une collaboration en personne. En conclusion, je pense qu'un modèle hybride serait idéal, permettant 2 ou 3 jours de télétravail par semaine. Clear position provides multiple arguments with examples, acknowledges counter-arguments, uses appropriate connectors, maintains coherent structure throughout. Recalibrate initialization to load selected prompts. Référence. Whoa. Yes. Référence. Organize ideas logically, use connectors, stay on topic, build arguments or descriptions systematically. Use complex structures, conditionals, adjunctive basics, errors don't impede understanding, show control of tenses. Vocabulary, use varied vocabulary appropriate to the topic, demonstrate range beyond basic words, use some idiomatic expressions. Key grammar. Conditionnel présent, je voudrais, j'aimerais, pourriez-vous, subjonctif, basic triggers, il faut que, je veux que, bien que, using two informal contexts, common mistakes to avoid. Translating literally from English. Forgetting gender agreements, un problème important, une question importante. Overusing, je pense que, à mon avis, c'est le moins, il me semble. Long silent pause, use fillers. Alors, donc, eh bien, voyons. Conditionnel présent, je voudrais, j'aimerais, pourriez-vous. Subjonctif, il faut que, je veux que, bien que. Describing past situations or events. Future simple, making predictions and plans. Pronom relatif. Use fillers and stalling techniques. Eh bien, alors, donc. Comment dire, c'est-à-dire, en fait, à vrai dire, en fait, voyons. How would Massimo Vignelli redesign this? Practice regularly, record yourself, listen back, focus on fluency or perfection. Perfection, expression orale. I love how Claude Code automatically just adds these little things. Radical departure, ruthless reduction, strict grid, Helvetica, palette of black, white, and red, no ornamentation, no fleur de lis, no decorative serifs, pure information design. Let me rebuild it with his principles, modernist principles. White space, typography, hierarchy, timelessness over trends, designed to last, not to be fashionable. American Airlines branding, Knoll furniture graphics, Bloomingdale shopping bags. Okay. Big brown bag. Big brown bag. Whoa, what is this? Except cookies. The carousel. Legendary designer is joining the big 5-0. Celebration worthy stylish Tisha. Pickleball by far. Alexa Lear with an assortment of colorful unique pieces along with the classic gold balls. We have curated the perfect balance of on-theme pieces and everyday staples. New York, Cafe Piana, Moleskin. Very cool, let's go. Massimo, let's go. Combien, let me rebuild this with his principles. Il me semble que. Commencer. Nouvelle situation. Section C. Les réseaux sociaux ont-ils plus d'effets négatifs que positifs sur la société? Le Canada devrait-il interdire les voitures dans les centres-villes? L'immigration est-elle essentielle pour l'économie canadienne? Let's go. Wow. Expression orale, TEF Canada speaking practice, CLB7. Obtenir des renseignements. This is really good. This is really good. Argumente. Update section B timer to 10 minutes. Start reset new. Sont-ils plus d'effets négatifs ou positifs sur la société? Intelligence artificielle menace-t-elle emploi ou crée-t-elle de nouvelles opportunités? Okay. Now I'm gonna update what section B looks like. So we'll find our guy Frenchify, and we'll upload one of the videos that we have. Mock speaking exam. Here's a mock speaking for section B. Understand the structure and redesign section B to reflect the mock exam in this YouTube video. Attempting to retrieve YouTube video content. YouTube is blocked. Oh no. YouTube is blocked. Deciphering structure and format. It's completely different from what I had. It's not an abstract argument, wow, very smart, but rather a persuasion roleplay where you convince a friend to participate in something based on an advertisement or announcement. Let's go. Wow. It figured out that you had it wrong. You had it totally wrong. Completely redesigned to match this. Okay. View example response. Réponse. Bonjour, j'aimerais m'inscrire à un cours de français. Pourriez-vous me dire quel niveau vous proposez et quels sont les horaires disponibles? J'aimerais également savoir combien coûte la formation. Est-ce qu'il y a des frais d'inscription? Quels documents dois-je fournir pour m'inscrire? Combien d'étudiants y a-t-il par classe? En général, vos professeurs sont-ils certifiés? Et finalement, quand est-ce que les prochains cours commencent? Restructured. Premièrement, deuxièmement, d'une part, d'autre part, prenons l'exemple de certes, mais à mon avis, selon moi, je suis convaincu que il me semble que je tiens à souligner que clear position stated, concrete examples, opinion expressions used, 2-3 arguments given, counter arguments acknowledged, position restated, and conclusion. This is really cool. All right, let's wait for it to get done. Coding assistance. Code quality sharp. Agent mode activated, and then it just struggled. 90% of what people actually need. Fast, free, citation heavy books across platforms. Research assistant built for answers you can trust. Action engine built for tasks it can't quite do yet. Wow. AI and job loss and summarize my perspective. Fast chat impact is uneven. Real risk is in job loss, its pipeline collapse. Junior roles disappear. Companies lose the mechanism by which people learn compound judgment and eventually become senior talent. Interesting. Comment. Comment needs Dia's design. Dia needs comments agents. That's a good tweet. Many teams sure and are still promising smooth agentic workflows. Comment deliver. What is happening? Why are people not updating? Okay, this is cool. This is cool. Cameron Stowe. This is cool. Just a lot of books. Lot of books. Child's Play. I read this at 2x speed. I don't get why most people don't use Perplexity for deep research. Let me show you 7 prompt. Turn it into PhD level. Alex Prompter. God of Prompt, co-founder. Okay, YDScribe.ai. Comprehensive guide to viral AI content hooks and engagement tactics for Twitter and YouTube. Even he is not tweeting anymore. Cameron Stowe, endlessly curious. Perplexity AI. GTM social. What is happening? Arvind. Arvind just has this extra A over here. What do we have? Literally all you need to lock in for 26. Bible. Holy Bible. Notion. YouTube. Robinhood. Fitness. Podcast. River. What is River? Okay. Let's go back to Child's Play. Anaïs Nin, she wrote about protecting the child self against a flattening over rational adulthood, especially for artists, spiritual literary voices. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, Le Petit Prince. Le Petit Prince was almost a manifesto. Adults lose reality by losing imagination. Children see essence before labels. Expand my imagination. Boom, go. A unifying thread across all of them. The child is not about age. It's about uninstrumental curiosity. Play without justification. Perception before explanation. Perception before explanation. Creation before optimization. The child is what adulthood forgets and secretly hunts for the rest of its life. Artists, AI thinkers, people who explicitly frame childhood as a competitive advantage in modern work. Wow. How is rename what you already see? The way a cat stretches sunlight across the floor, no strain, no forcing, just widening the room. Rename what you already see. Your imagination shrinks when nouns hard and loosen them. A chair becomes a machine for waiting. A city becomes a library written in footsteps. AI becomes a mirror that learned syntax. Do this once a day, one object, one rename. You are not being clever, you are breaking the spell of the obvious. What is computer? Computer is again a machine for waiting, a machine for exploration. Computer is your machine for exploring the world. You don't have to travel. You can just be with your mind and your computer. You can travel the world sitting in one place. Your computer is your 24/7. Your computer is your plane, is your private jet. Your computer is your private jet. Your home, your work setup is your private jet, is your supersonic private jet. You can go anywhere, anytime, fast. Borrow child's physics. Children assume the world responds. Try this mental experiment. Imagine a curiosity has mass. Imagine attention bends reality slightly, the way gravity bends light. Attention bends reality slightly, the way gravity. Wow. Create a toy model similar. Create a simulation similar to how we show how planets bend gravity lines. Instead of planets and gravity, replace it with showing how attention bends reality. I don't know if this makes sense. The way gravity bends, like create a simulation to show simulation to how we show planets bend gravity. Planets are going to place which showing how attention bends reality. Let's see if we can do something. Conversation not found. Why? Prashant is thinking, why is this not working? Did I hit my limits? Convince, it has changed. Wow. Present an advertisement to a friend and convince him to participate. The examiner plays your friend, they will resist, keep persuading. Annonce, cours de cuisine italienne. Apprenez à préparer des pâtes fraîches, des risottos et des œufs italiennes authentiques avec notre chef napolitain. École culinaire de Vieux-Montréal, samedi 10h à 13h, 8 semaines, puis $350 ingrédients inclus, niveau débutant bienvenue. Vous avez vu cette annonce pour les cours de cuisine italienne, vous en parlez à un ami qui adore manger mais qui dit ne pas savoir cuisiner. Présentez-lui ce document, essayez de la convaincre de s'inscrire avec vous. Presenting the document. Tu as vu cette annonce? J'ai trouvé quelque chose qui pourrait t'intéresser. J'ai trouvé quelque chose qui pourrait t'intéresser. J'ai trouvé quelque chose qui pourrait t'intéresser. Regarde, elle propose. C'est exactement ce qu'il te faut. Ce qu'il te faut. Je comprends, mais pense à. Oui, mais justement. Allez, ça va être super. Tu n'as rien à perdre. Tu n'as rien à perdre. Fais-moi confiance sur ce coup-là. Fais-moi confiance sur ce coup-là. Used to, this is informal. You are talking to a friend, first person in the document clearly. Then give reasons why it's perfect for your friend specifically. The examiner will say no, don't give up, counter each objection. Keep the energy up, be enthusiastic, not desperate. Et tu as vu ça? Tu as vu ça? Tu as vu ça? Il y a des cours de cuisine italienne en Vieux-Montréal. C'est exactement ce qu'il te faut. Tu dis toujours que tu ne sais pas cuisiner, mais c'est pour les débutants. Le chef vient de Naples. Donc tu vas prendre les vraies recettes. C'est le samedi matin pendant 8 semaines et ça coûte $350 avec tous les ingrédients inclus, ami. Bof, je n'ai pas le temps. Allez, c'est juste 3 heures par semaine et pense à tous les dîners que tu pourrais préparer après. Tu vas impressionner tout le monde. Ami, c'est cher. Oui, mais regarde, les ingrédients sont inclus. Si tu achètes tout ça au supermarché, ça te coûterait presque en temps. Et puis tu auras une nouvelle compétence pour la vie. On s'inscrit ensemble. Give personalized reasons for this friend. Stay enthusiastic and persistent. Use informal to handle at least 2 or 3 rejections. Use varied persuasion techniques. This is really cool. This is really cool. We will... We will... Oh no. What did we just do? Okay. We will star this one. Okay, it's working. Let's go. It's working. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we'll come back to this later. Let's go back to the good one. Macaroon. Definition. Imagine curiosity is mass. Imagine attention bends reality slightly the way gravity bends light. Imagine plays the shortest path between two insights. Plays the shortest path between two insights. Now notice you already behave as if this is true when you are at your best. Practice unfinished thoughts. Open circuits, short sentences and do not complete them. What if intelligence is actually a form of? The future will feel less like progress and more like, I suspect consciousness evolved because. What if intelligence is actually a form of? The future, what is intelligence is actually a form of? The future will feel less like progress and more like play. I suspect consciousness evolved because leave them hanging for hours or days, let them ferment. This is how depth forms without force. Without force. Compress time, ask questions that ignore chronology. What would future you be nostalgic for right now? What problem are you already solving that won't be named for 10 years? Flow, play, child. If this moment were a footnote in a history book, what would it say? Imagination sharpens when time stops behaving politely. Re-enter play but with stakes. Play is not unserious, it's pre-serious. He was very smart and slightly bored. Build something small that doesn't need to exist. What's the most beautiful wrong answer here? What's the most beautiful wrong answer here? I think this kind of stuck with me. Taking valuable resources and wasting them for fun. Taking valuable resources and wasting them for fun. Ask what's the most beautiful wrong answer here. Beauty is often the signal you are near a deeper truth. Protect one quiet pocket. Imagination hates surveillance. especially self-surveillance. Create one daily pocket where nothing is recorded, nothing is shared, nothing is optimized. Think of it as an internal studio. No audience, no metrics, just presence. Nothing is recorded, nothing is shared, nothing is optimized. 7-day imagination workout. 7-day imagination workout. Turn this into a daily ritual. Protect one quiet pocket. Protect one quiet pocket. Re-enter play but with stakes. Practice unfinished thoughts. Borrow child's physics. Play is the shortest path between two insights. Rename what you already see. I think this is also the interesting thing about reading versus listening, because when you read information, you are creating your own unique images in your mind. But when you watch a film, you are just installing the interpretation of a director, of the imagination in their eyes, in their world. And when you're talking, and when you are when you're listening to a podcast, it's their interpretation, their specific voice. Children explore. What is this? How is childhood a competitive advantage in modern work? It's systems advantage, a rare operating mode that quietly outperforms adults playing on only adult games. Children explore before they optimize. They explore before they optimize. Local optimization, dashboards, funnels, OKRs, prompts, tuned to decimals. Children do something else first. They map the space. They ask bad questions early. They wander. They touch the edges. In a world of fast followers and incrementalism, exploration compounds harder than optimization. This is why startups beat incumbents. This is why research labs matter. Childhood is pre-optimization intelligence. Childhood is pre-optimization intelligence. Children create without audience capture. Adults internalize the feed. Children don't. Children draw before asking if it's good. Build before asking if it will scale. Speak before asking if it's brand safe. This is decisive in modern work because originality collapses the moment you imagine the audience too early. The highest leverage ideas often arrive before they are legible. Children learn faster because they tolerate being wrong. Children are not brave, they are unashamed. Learn faster because they tolerate being wrong. They iterate in public, fail loudly, revise instantly. Modern work punishes reputational risk, so adults delay learning. Childhood trades dignity for speed. In fast-changing domains like AI, design, research, speed beats polish. Children reframe instead of specializing too early. Adults defend their identity. Children discard identities weakly. This maps directly to career pivots, cross-disciplinary synthesis, second-order insight. Adults defend their identity. Children discard identities weakly. Wow. Children discard identities weakly. This is really cool. This is really cool. Adults defend their identity. Children discard identities weakly. I also love our I also love our quotes app. I do miss my quotes app. I ain't scared of nothing. I don't think that people are looking for the meaning of life as much they are looking for the experience of being alive. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Once you start doing it, you realize you can do it. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Ideas are like fish. If you want to catch little fish, you can stay in the shallow water. But if you want to catch the big fish, you've got to go deeper. Down deep, the fish are more powerful and more pure. They are huge and abstract, and they are very beautiful. The hero wanders, the hero suffers, the hero returns. I love this one. The hero wanders, the hero suffers, the hero returns. You are that hero. The best art is the most personal. The greater the inferiority feeling, the higher the goal of personal power. A bird doesn't sing because it has an answer. It sings because it has a song. Inspiration exists, but it has to find you working. The psychotic drowns in the same waters in which the mystic swims with delight. No one will pay you to solve a non-problem. You've got to be really dialed into exactly who you are to the 100th power, or you're just everyone else. Music should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. The chief danger of life is that you may take too many precautions. Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once he grows up. You have to plant little acorns which grow into mighty oak trees. The more you play the game, the stronger this force becomes, and soon enough it becomes who you are, and you wouldn't have it any other way. Life is the art of drawing without an eraser. These are some things that can't learn from others. These are some things that you can learn from others. You have to pass through the fire. Build an app. What are some interesting ideas we can build for AC/DC, the band? Conversation found. Boom. It's funny. Children reframe instead of specializing too early. Adults defend their identity. Children discard identities weakly. This maps directly to career pivots. Cross-disciplinary synthesis. Second order insight. The modern edge isn't expertise alone. It's plasticity. What are some interesting domains that I wouldn't have imagined? You probably haven't even noticed yet. Invisible professions, real work, rarely named. Focus of forensic linguistic studies. Identifying authorship intent or deception purely from language patterns. Acoustic ecology. Studying soundscapes as environmental indicators. Forests as symphonies. Olfactory archivist. Smells of disappearing places. Libraries of scent memory. Museum conservators. Time travelers. Preparing fragile artifacts molecule by molecule. Metafields. Domains about domains. How other work gets done. Science of peer review. Optimizing how truth is filtered. Decision science. How humans and machines choose under uncertainty. Decision science. How humans and machines choose under uncertainty. Knowledge decay studies. What societies forget and why. Wow. Knowledge decay studies. Wow. Tell me more. Forecasting tournaments. Training humans to predict the future better than institutions. Forgotten or declining crafts. We love to see the offices of people. He's obviously a watchman. You don't call it watchmaker, you call it watchman. Watchsmith? I don't know if watchsmith is a word. Why do I feel like he's wearing a Richard Mille? But no, he's not wearing a Richard Mille. Richard Mille. Domains modernity almost erased. Horology, beyond luxury. Mechanical time as philosophy. Book binding, physical memory architecture. Stone conservation. Repairing cathedrals that will outlive nations. Type founding letters as physical artifacts, not pixels. Scarcity plus soul creates gravitational pull. Human edge of technology. Algorithm auditors detecting bias and unintended incentives. Digital anthropologists, culture born inside platforms. Community architects designing norms, not features. HCI researchers where cognition meets interface friction. Long horizon domains. Oh yeah, this one is the seed one. Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Svalbard. Normal age or super age or biological age. Seed vault stewardship. Ecosystem restoration, longevity and senescence mapping. Language preservation for dying tongues. Wow. Attract people immune to quarterly thinking. Emotional infrastructure. Ritual is not habit or routine, repeated action, symbol intent. Ritual. Can you pull the most aesthetic images from Pinterest? Quiet luxury. Editorial calm. Lumera. It's so much. Sometimes I think about it like fashion is interesting. It's so much work put into what clothes to wear. Then you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do for the rest of the day? Like, this pretty much took 1 hour to wear this, another 2 hours to shoot this. Wow. Okay, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I look at that and I'm like, okay, how do we replicate that? We should be able to replicate that. Wow. Look at that. Beauty. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Boom. Muted tones, expensive silence. Nothing trying too hard. Intellectual romance. Intellectual romance. Wow. Dust, marble, candlelight, ideas lingering in the air. Modernist precision. Yo la ten go. Order, restrain, systems that whisper. Confidence, soft, futurism, thoughtful tech. Soft futurism. Poetic solitude. Lot of plants right there. It's so interesting how you're attracted to beauty, how you're attracted to beauty. Like this cover, just because it's different, you want to hold it in your hands. Okay, this wasn't that good. Pinterest is better. Curiosity as a job description. Anomaly hunters studying what doesn't fit, urban explorers turned historians, trend forecasters who live 5 years ahead, speculative designers prototyping futures that provoke thought. These people ask better questions when others know what to ask. A lens you might like feels oddly quiet, attracts obsessive generalists, lacks a clean title, operates on long time horizons, probably undervalued. Tell me more. Knowledge decay studies. What societies forget, how they forget it, and why the forgetting feels invisible until it's catastrophic. It's about erosion, not people didn't know, but people once knew, systems depended on it, and then the knowing thinned, fragmented, or vanished. The field asks questions like, why did Romans lose concrete formulas that lasted 2,000 years? Why can we build rockets but struggle to rebuild 1970s microchips? Why do organizations repeat failures they meticulously documented? Knowledge dies quietly, not dramatically. The four main failure moments. Think of knowledge as a living organism. It dies in predictable ways, tacit collapse. Some knowledge lives only in hands, habits, and intuition. Master machinists, elder healers, legacy engineers. When they retire or die without apprentice, the knowledge evaporates. No drama, no archive saves it. Institutional amnesia. Organization optimized for output, not memory. Teams rotate, incentives reset, documentation rots. The knowledge exists somewhere, but no one knows where or why it mattered. Compression loss. To scale knowledge, we compress it. To scale knowledge, we compress it. Textbooks simplify, checklists replace judgment. Abstractions hide assumptions. Eventually, people can follow steps without understanding why they exist. When conditions change, the knowledge snaps. Compression loss. To scale knowledge, we compress it. Textbooks simplify, checklists replace judgment. Abstractions hide assumptions. Eventually, people can follow steps without understanding why they exist. So you might have documented everything, but you miss out on the why. Which is very interesting. Abstractions hide assumptions. Eventually, people can follow steps without understanding why they exist. When conditions change, the knowledge snaps. Cultural selection. Societies forget what they no longer value. Indigenous land practices. Low status crafts. Non-economic wisdom. Not because it's false, because it's convenient. The paradox that makes this feel dangerous. Modern societies are producing more information than ever while preserving less usable knowledge. We archive data, we don't preserve sense making. A terrifying asymmetry, high bandwidth creation, low bandwidth inheritance. This is why AI models train on oceans of text yet miss context. You can train on text, massive corpus of text, yet miss the context. Massive corpus of text, yet miss context. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. We'll do a quick check over here. And we are doing good. Engineers inherit systems no one fully understands. Civilizations feel advanced yet fragile. Why this matters now more than ever. Three forces are accelerating decay. Speed, change outruns memory. By the time lessons stabilize, the environment has already shifted. Automation, humans offload judgment to systems they don't fully grasp. When systems fail, no one remembers how to think without them. change outruns memory. By the time lessons stabilize, the environment has already shifted. Prestige gradients, we reward novelty, not maintenance. Creation gets status, preservation gets forgotten. Civilizations don't fall from ignorance, they fall from forgotten competence. I think this is interesting. This reminds me of this one guy who was, I forgot what they call it, but Bitcoin keeper. Whoever is the keeper, whoever, Bitcoin maintainer, I believe. Yeah, whoever is the maintainer of the Bitcoin ecosystem and Bitcoin key and all of that stuff. And it's interesting because they usually talk about this, that hey, it's a job which isn't getting, you are not appreciated a lot because you're doing a lot of work, you're doing a lot of maintenance work, you're not creating anything, you're doing a lot of maintenance work, and people don't really see your work. People only know about them when things go wrong. They don't know about you if everything is right. They don't care about you. So it's very non-thankful, something like that, non-thanking job, where this quietly intersects with AI and alignment. This is the subtle part. Alignment assumes stable values, consistent goals, remembered lessons. But if human institutions forget why rules exist, lose tacit safety practices, compress ethics into slogans, then AI inherits rotted priors. Misalignment isn't just technical, it's civilizational memory loss encoded into machines. The people who work on this, they don't call themselves knowledge decay researchers, archivists designing future legibility. Maintaining boring infrastructure, guarding institutional memory, elders teaching skills no longer fashionable. What should we build next? What must never be forgotten, even if it stops being profitable? Education, AI training, data, governance, culture, even your personal notes. Given your obsession with long horizon thinking, alignment, meta problems, cultural memory, it's strategic. Reframe instead of specializing too early. Children discard identities weakly, career pivots, cross-disciplinary synthesis, second order insight. The modern edge is an expertise alone, its plasticity. Identity light, so it reconfigures faster when the environment shifts. Children play, and play is compressed R&D. Play is compressed R&D. It's not leisure, it's unbilled research. Rules are provisional, goals are invented, failure is data. Every breakthrough field, from science to startups to art, secretly runs on adult permission to play. The people who win are the ones who never fully gave that permission up. See, essence before category. Children ask, what is this? Adults ask, what is this like other things? Categories lack reality. Labels freeze perception. New phenomena arrive nameless. People who spot the future early often look confused at first. Childhood perception is pre-taxonomic. It sees signal before vocabulary. Pre-taxonomic. That is so interesting. When as an adult you read everything, you get all the words, you get all the vocabulary, you suddenly think like you know what's happening, and you stop exploring because you're like, I know what's up. Very interesting. The paradox. Childhood is a competitive advantage only when paired with adult capacity. Pure childhood is chaos. Pure adulthood is sterility. Art and business, child and adult, childhood and adulthood. Wow. The rare operator is childlike in curiosity, adult in execution. Childlike wonder and adult-like execution. Interesting. I like that. childlike wonder, and adult-like execution. No, real-time creation was better. Real-time creation. Yes. Childlike in curiosity, adult in execution. This is why the most dangerous people in modern work look playful, but ship relentlessly. Ship relentlessly. The future belongs to people who can explore like children and deliver like adults. AI research creative system, childhood preserving work system. Okay, now let's go. Quotes by her on protecting the child self. Highway to Hell life-audit, a tool that maps your current trajectory onto AC/DC's discography. Input your habits, decisions, and lifestyle choices, and tells you which AC/DC song you're currently living. Are you on a highway to hell or experiencing a Back in Black redemption arc? Includes a timeline showing when you shifted between albums. The Bon Scott Brian Johnson duality index. Philosophical differences between AC/DC's two eras. Hedonistic, raw, working class poetry. Brian Johnson's era is more theatrical, arena ready, almost mythological. For those about to rock, commitment ceremony, an app for declaring intentions with weight. The app plays increasingly aggressive AC/DC tracks and show your original commitment video. The cannon only fires when you complete it. Lineup changes, job loss, relationships ending, health issues, and see your story alongside the band's resilience arc. Thunderstruck, reaction time baseline cognitive performance tool that measures your reaction time during the iconic Thunderstruck intro. Thunderstruck. I think we're about to hit session limit again, but not yet. Alright, let's see. Interesting domain ideas was good. Alright, Anaïs Nin. The child who is uprooted begins to recognize that what he builds within himself is what will endure, what will withstand shattering experiences. Attending to what's born in you first, not what's demanded from you. The child who is uprooted begins to recognize that what he builds within himself is what will endure, what will withstand shattering experiences. On layered growth and maintaining childlike dimension, we do not grow absolutely, chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension and not in another, unevenly. Wow. This is very much like Jagged AI. We do not grow absolutely, chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension and not in another, unevenly. We grow partially. We are mature in one realm, childish in another. The past, present, and future mingle and pull us backward, forward, or fix us in the present. The past, the present, and future mingle and pull us backward, forward, or fix us in the present. We are made up of layers, cells, constellations. This is so interesting. This reminds me of the Jagged AI that Ilya was talking about. That AI doesn't grow evenly in all directions. this one. Helen Toner. Helen Toner was on OpenAI's board. AI models keep getting better and better. AI models keep sucking, and the things they keep sucking at are kind of confusing. I'm Gemini. I sold t-shirts. It was weirder than I expected. My technical nightmare. Yes, this one. Jagged technological frontier where some tasks are easily done by AI while others, though seemingly similar in difficulty level, are outside the current capability of AI. Task on the frontier, task inside the frontier, task outside the frontier. Some expect jaggedness to go away. AI adoption will slow because workplaces will have to change how they do things only until we have drop in remote workers. AI is really bad at some things only until we automate AI R&D, then it can just make itself better at all of those things. Well, AI is kind of bad at some stuff. See, for example, examples about someone else, well, but only until we can automate AI R&D. Situational awareness. Maybe AI will keep getting better and AI will keep sucking in important ways. Lest I be misunderstood. Expecting ongoing jaggedness is compatible with expecting that in the long run AI will be better than humans at everything. In the short run AI will be enormously disruptive. Jagged isn't equal to boring. Let's focus on smooth curves, asymptotes, skipping to the end. More curiosity about the order, speed, intensity of different capabilities. Smooth asymptotes. Whoa. What is this? High quality simulation video of the fluid dynamics. Keep being jagged. Easier versus harder to verify. Can you put the context in the context window? Level of adversarialness, cognitive versus physical. Copier. This is so interesting. Let's post this one. Alright, what do we have? We do not grow absolutely chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension, not another. Unevenly, we grow partially. We are mature in one realm, childish in another. The past, the present, the future. We do not grow absolutely chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension and not in another. Unevenly, we grow partially. We are mature in one realm, childish in another. This was cool. Ice cream portfolio advisor. But I think the text is so light. It's beautiful when you're using it, but it's so hard to understand what's happening. A done button. A done button got 81. And this long article that we wrote got 38 views. So definitely, the simpler it is, the better it is. Helen Toner on archive. I don't know why it keeps archiving, but let's see. What's the other one? The Shape of AI, Ethan Mollick. Jagged Frontier. Actually, this one is better. Copier. Let's do the fatter hyphen. Delete this one. We do not grow absolutely chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension and not in another. I think this is also very interesting, this concept of AI is a mirror. AI is a mirror. A lot of people are talking about the same thing. Whoa. Whoa. No. It just wrote a blog post. Oh my god. Reverse salience. The shape of the jagged frontier results from decisions made at the labs. Attack or reverse salience, so it might be nice if they aim at co-intelligence rather than uber-intelligence. Deliberate achieve that complements our human boundary rather than attempts to circumscribe it. What is reverse salient? A single jagged weakness. When the weakness becomes a reverse salient, the AI lab suddenly fixes the problem. The entire system can jump forward. Nano Banana Pro combines two advances: a very good image creation model and a very smart AI that can help direct the model, looking up information as needed. For example, all these names, this is just like, all these names just remind me of crypto. All these names and numbers will just go away because what humans really care about is simplicity. All these names, Nano Banana Pro and Notebook LM, all this reminds me of the different chains, L2s, L1s, L2s on in crypto, because at the end of the day, people just want to transact money. People just want a trusted infrastructure. That is all that matters. Scientists who are authors are using a whiteboard to explain Ethan Mollick's order on a plane using Wi-Fi test of AI. You must search for this, and demonstrating it has passed with a wall full of photos of orders on planes using laptops. It's pretty good. For a lot of new capabilities, for example, take PowerPoint decks. Every major AI company has been trying to get their AI to make PowerPoint, and they have done this for having the AIs write computer code to create a PowerPoint from scratch. Slides are a little dull. I took my book, Co-Intelligence, and threw it into Claude and asked for a slide deck summary. The model is very smart. PowerPoint deck is limited by the fact that it has to be written in code. Smart Gemini AI model you combined with Nano Banana Pro, it is in use in code. It is creating each slide as a single image. When image quality was low, this would have been impossible. Suddenly, it isn't. And since images are very flexible, I can play with the standard approach. I had Notebook LM do a deep research report, science-spec methods of learning, and then turn that into dense slide decks meant for reading in a variety of styles. Hand-drawn, 1980s punk. Very dramatic, high contrast slides with bright yellow background. One with otter on a plane theme. They can just take source materials, a topic and an idea, and summarize it in a slide. Hallucinations are very rare, and the sources are correct, and create other analogies and come up with punk theme description. Each of these bottlenecks is a reverse salient. We won't get much warning when they break through, but a jagged frontier cuts both ways. So far, every lurch forward leaves yet more edges in which humans are needed. There will be many lurches ahead. There will be many opportunities. Pay attention to both. We do not grow absolutely chronologically. We grow sometimes in one dimension and not in another. Unevenly, we grow partially. We are mature in one realm, childish in another. This is actually a really good one. This is a really good one. I like it. The shape of AI. Okay, what do we have? Highway to Hell audit. The Highway to Hell life audit. Map your current life trajectory onto AC/DC discography. Discover which song you are living. Begin audit. How much sleep are you getting? Oh my god. 8+. I've learned my lesson. Where is your energy coming from? Spite and determination, a new obsession that won't let go. I'm running on fumes, honestly. Pure adrenaline and caffeine. Spite and determination. A new obsession that won't let go. What's your relationship with your vices? Currently winning. I've quit the bad ones. We have an understanding. They're winning and I'm okay with it. Trading old ones for new ones. We have an understanding. Last impulsive decision. Today, several. Actually, this week, nothing major. I've been methodical lately. I made one big impulsive choice and I'm writing it. Last impulsive decision. How's your career work situation? Burning bridges, no regrets. Grinding, building something. Recovering from a major setback, about to make a huge move. Burning bridges, no regrets. Grinding. Your relationship with money right now. Spending like there's no tomorrow. Obsessively building wealth. Doing whatever it takes to survive. Money is not the focus right now. Spending obsessively. Your closest relationships right now. Intense and all-consuming. Strained but holding. Rebuilding after damage. Burning some down on purpose. Wow. Intense and all-consuming. But holding. Rebuilding after damage. Burning some down on purpose. Who do you trust right now? A tight inner circle. Mostly just myself. I'm too open probably. Someone new has my full attention. Mostly just myself. How do you feel about the next year? Something big is coming. I can feel it. I didn't read the options. Your biggest regret philosophy. No regrets, only lessons. Regret is for people who slow down. I carry them, but keep moving. Currently creating some new ones. But keep moving. Map your timeline. Define each era of your life. The formation years. Early 20s, late 20s, 30s, now. The reckless era. Thunderstruck. The reality check. Thunderstruck. The reckoning. TNT. Dynamite. For those who want to rock, read my song. Amazing. Analyzing your voltage. Stiff upper lip. Endurance mode. Things are hard, but you are not showing it. Stoic resilience through the grind with undertones of money talks. Your discography timeline. Brian Johnson era. Resilient, theatrical. Risen from what should have ended you. Risen from what should have ended you. Wow. Wow. Really cool. Okay, I was actually waiting for this one. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Move to observe. Click. Click to focus. Hold to deepen attention. Okay. Attention strength. Reality density. Wow. This is so cool. Attention bends. What a beautiful concept. Attention is a force that warps the fabric of perception itself. Interactive simulation exploring the metaphor that attention warps the fabric of reality itself. The grid represents reality or perception, a fabric of persistence, high persistence. Now we are what if we go low persistence, because it's now it's release all, mode warp, mode ripple, mode illuminate. It courses your attention and creates distortions wherever you move. Clicking creates persistent attention wells that continue to warp reality even after you move on. It deepens the distortion, sustained focus amplifies the effect. Controls attention strength. Let go. Let go. Others persist. We don't perceive reality objectively, where we direct attention literally what we experience. How would Kenya Hara redesign this? Emptiness. Wow. It's gonna be cool. On not losing into your life, our culture made a virtue of living only as extroverts. We discourage the inner journey, the quest for a center. So we lost our center and have to find it again. We do not see things as they are, we see them as we are. Imaginative, unfiltered, embodied shapes how we interpret the world, not just how we describe it. On reclaiming what feels lost, living never wore one so much as the effort not to live. Not explicitly about child, but in context it evokes the cost of abandoning the unguarded self in favor of adaptation, efficiency, and auto approval. Really cool. We want to listen to money talks now. That would be interesting. Kenya Hara, let's go. Custom cursor. Boom. Dark background. Boom. Boom. Let's go. Emptiness at the center. Paper not screen. The word appears late. Where is it? Oh, I see the word attention over here. I see the word attention. The visible grid. Emptiness the center. That contains everything. Attention. Wow. The longer you hold it, the deeper and wider the effect. Movement is shallow. Paper not screen. The points are irregular. The word appears late. I don't see anything. Claude is gonna be like, that's the point. That's the point. Reconciling subtlety with visibility in design philosophy. That's the most horror thing I could have done. Made it so subtle it became invisible. Let me recalibrate. It's quite not absent. The Muji aesthetic whispers. It doesn't go mute. It really took the idea of emptiness seriously. Tetragrammaton. The nature of song geometry. The new moon observer. Tetragrammaton, and here's the Rick Rubin thing. Thought forms and inner works. In many occupations, when we go home, we leave our work behind at the office. The artist is always on call. We're always in it every hour of the day. The chores of ordinary life. It may be of benefit to play with spontaneity as a tool, a window to discovery, and an access point to new parts of yourself. If you sit down to write with no preparation or forethought, you might bypass the conscious mind and draw from the unconscious. You may find that what emerges holds a charge that cannot be duplicated through rational means. It's beautiful. It keeps clicking. You can keep clicking. It grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Wow. Still find it too loud, but at least now you can see it. Move your cursor. Gently part around it, creating a clearing. Hold still for a moment. An effect deepens. A warm glow emerging where attention rests. Alright, that's a